What is up, Speezinators? I'm your host Nathan Spees, and welcome to another great collection video. But this isn't just any collection video, it's a collection video of Jurassic Park. Yeah, that's right. It's the 30th anniversary of Jurassic Park this year, so I thought what better video to do than a collection video. Now you may remember back in 2018, I did a collection video on my Jurassic Park collection. Well, this is going to be a updated version, because there's a lot of new stuff that's been added. Some of the old stuff I no longer have. But yeah, this is going to be a pretty long video, so make sure you have your popcorn and snacks. And so basically what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the movies and clothes and stuff, and then we'll move on to the toys. There's a collection of retro stuff and new stuff. I've been collecting for about 10 years. It's actually my largest collection from any fandom that I'm a part of. And so yeah, without further ado, here's my Jurassic Park collection 2023 update. Alright, so the first... Oh, hang on a minute. Pardon the mess. The first thing I want to show off is this. This is my Jurassic World size chart poster that I got at Walmart around the time the movie came out. The first one, in 2015. And yeah, it's really big. I have it hanging up here on the wall. And then I have this poster up here. Well, it's not really a poster, but you're supposed to hang it up on the wall. I don't know where to put it yet. And then over here we have our DVDs, t-shirts, costumes, and other things. So first up here we have the Jurassic Park DVD. And we also have the Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. These all came in a bundle, but I don't have the case for it anymore. So I just have the DVDs. Then down here I have a copy of Jurassic World. This is a recorded copy, not from a theater, but from TV. I also have one from Fallen Kingdom. I don't have Dominion yet. I don't really watch DVDs anymore, I just watch everything online, but wouldn't mind getting a DVD. And then I also have this maroon faded colored Jurassic Park shirt, as well as this rainbow colored Jurassic Park shirt. I have a pair of bootleg raptor claws. Those aren't licensed by Jurassic Park. I have an actual licensed pair of Jurassic World raptor claws. These are the Target exclusive ones that are much darker green. I have a T-Rex and Mosasaurus stuffed animals that I remember getting for Christmas. And I have a T-Rex head puppet, which isn't really in the best shape, but it does still work. And of course I have my Blue the Velociraptor Mascomole, which I will be using in an upcoming video very soon. Same thing with this thing. This is the iconic and legendary inflatable T-Rex costume. And I've got tons of videos planned with this. I cannot wait to use that in future videos. And yeah, if you have any ideas for it, let me know. I might actually do one of those. So that's it for like miscellaneous stuff. Now we're going to move on to the toys. And we got a lot to go through with those toys. So starting out the toys section of the video, we have the Hammond collection, which is my favorite Jurassic Park toy line. These are somewhat movie-accurate dinosaur toys with loads of articulation. There's also humans too. So the first one I'm going to start with is the Queen of Nublar herself, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. One of my favorite T-Rex toys ever made. So highly articulated. Next up we have the Triceratops. Slightly smaller than what a Triceratops is supposed to look like, but I don't really mind. Come on, focus. There you go. Still love the sculpt. Next up we have the Pterosaurs, one of the first ones that they made. Really cool, very accurate to the movie. Though it doesn't really like to stand all that well. Then we have the Jurassic Park 3 Ankylosaurus. Another one of my favorites. Mostly because I don't have a proper Ankylosaurus toy until now. So I'm really happy with how this one turned out. This one's not part of the Hammond collection, but it's a very similar dinosaur toy. The superposable Indoraptor, from Fallen Kingdom. Then we have the Hammond Collection Baryonyx, another really cool one. Also one of the first ones they did. I know the light's kind of getting in the way. Then we have the Ceratosaurus from Jurassic Park 3. This one's also one of my favorites. I just like the ones that are so colorful. Then we have the Concavinator, which is really impressive, especially since it wasn't in any of the movies. And they did amazing on it. And the last big dinosaur that I have is the Geostribergia. I don't know how to pronounce the name, but it's very similar to the Pteranodons, but it has that weird crest thing. But yeah, I really love this one, especially with the bendable wings. Though it doesn't really like to stand all that well. Put it right there. Alright, next up we have the smaller dinosaurs. We have the Velociraptor. Not really movie accurate at all, but I don't mind. We have the very movie accurate Dilophosaurus, another favorite of mine. It has a detachable frill. Next up we have the Gallimimus from the first Jurassic Park. Slightly chonky, but I don't mind. And then we have the female raptor from Jurassic Park 3. I don't have the male yet, though I hope to get that one very soon. Now we're moving on to humans. I have the Hammond Collection Alan Grant. He's holding a baby raptor and a flare. I have the Hammond Collection Ian Malcolm with a detachable coat. Hammond Collection Ellie Sattler, who has the leaf that she's talking about towards the beginning of the movie. Come on, focus. I'm not really focusing at all. There we go. Then we have Samuel L. Jackson, also known as Ray Arnold. And last but not least, we have the Jurassic Park 3 Alan Grant. He has the bag that has the raptor eggs, and the eggs are in there, and they can be removed, but I'm not going to do that on camera. Oops. And last but not least, this one's not a Jurassic Park toy, but I still decided to include it in this collection because I really like it. It's the Beasts of the Mesozoic Velociraptor. If you don't know what this is, it's a toy line of scientifically accurate dinosaurs, and they're super articulated. I have the Velociraptor because it's the one I can afford. So yeah, that's the Hammond collection of the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World toys. Now I'm going to move on to the Amber collection. Moving on to the Amber collection, this is similar to the Hammond collection, except these are 6-inch scale figures, not 3.75-inch scale. Now I don't have that many, but these are the ones that I do have. First up we have the Jurassic Park Velociraptor. These do come with stands, but I don't really display them with stands at all. Just lean it there. And then I also have the Lost World Tiger Striped Velociraptor. One of my personal favorites. And then as for humans, we have Ray Arnold, Samuel L. Jackson. He has his disemboweled arm. And these are posed because I display them posed. They don't really stand that well. We have Robert Muldoon, who has his thing, his gun. Get them to stand. A little top heavy with the gun. Hang on. Then we have John Hammond. He has a baby raptor in his cane. And last but not least, we have the first one to come out, Ian Malcolm. He has a cup and a flare. Yeah, this is a really cool figure. I also have Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, and Owen Grady coming in the mail. at the time I'm recording this video. So I will be adding more to the Amber collection. But now, let's move on to the Funko Pops. So now for the Funko Pops, I had to change the camera angle because I have so many of them. And 4 of them are actually quite special because these are scenery packs that were exclusive to Target last year, and they're still available now. But I have the Jurassic Park gate, which goes back there, and it came with a, John Hammond Funko Pop. I also have Tim Murphy with the Raptors in the Kitchen. I have Robert Muldoon with the Velociraptor, you know, the clever girl scene. And then we also have the Ellie with the sick Triceratops. Now as for pop figures that are not scenery packs, I have quite a few from the original Jurassic Park. We have another John Hammond. This is the one that came by itself before the scenery pack came out. So now I have 2 of them. I have Alan Grant. I have Ian Malcolm. There we go. Dennis Nedry. Even has the Barbasol can. And then I have quite a few dinosaurs. So we have the T-Rex. Kind of warped a little bit. We have the, here it is. Dilophosaurus. This is one of the coolest ones because of the open frill. And last but not least, I have the Velociraptor. Moving on to Jurassic World, I have Owen Grady. These are from Fallen Kingdom. We have Blue, the Velociraptor. And the last one from Fallen Kingdom is the Indoraptor. Now for Jurassic World Dominion, I have Maisie. I have the exclusive Kayla Waltz. I think that's her name. I have Ian Malcolm, old version. I have the older version of Ellie. And then for dinosaurs, I have the Giganotosaurus. One of the few Gigas I have in my collection. The Therizinosaurus, one of my favorites. The Atrociraptor Ghost. I don't have the other Atrociraptors, but I might get those. And last but not least, the T-Rex from Dominion. So that's all the Funko Pops I have. Now we're going to actually do the toys, starting with the non-collection version of toys, starting with the Kenner humans. Alright, so first up with the human action figures, we're going to start with the original Kenner toys from Jurassic Park and the Lost World. So first up we have Series 2, Alan Grant, which for some reason has a yellow torso. That's just because of age. And then I have another Series 2, Alan Grant, but he's wearing a weird padding outfit. Not sure what that is. Then we have Ian Malcolm. This is the Lost World variant. This is the Lost World version, excuse me. He doesn't really stand all that well when he's got the thing on, so we'll put him back there. And then I have the glider version of Ian Malcolm, but I do not have the glider. And then we have Series 2, Ellie Sattler. Put her back there. And then I have Series 1, Ellie Sattler. Next up we have Series 1, Robert Muldoon. Doesn't really like to stand because he's warped due to age. And then we have Series 2, Robert Muldoon. Then we have Series 2, Dennis Nedry. You can actually pull his arms off. Really cool, but I'm not going to demonstrate it because I'm not using both hands. Then we have Nick Van Owen from The Lost World. I think that's the version that came with the high hide. You'll see that later. And then we have the actual figure who has the hat and the guns and such. And then we have Roland Tembo, I think that's who this is, from The Lost World. Not quite sure. We have this guy, who I think his name is T-Rex Turner, but I could be wrong. And then there's this random guy right here. I think he came with the Utah Raptor. And then there's another one of the, like, dino trackers, I think. He's got the big bear trap on his back. And so we'll put him right here. He doesn't really stand all that well because of the bear trap. But that's all the humans, but now I also have some of their hatchlings, like their dinosaur hatchlings. So we have the baby Brachiosaurus. I have another baby Brachiosaurus from Series 2, I think. We have a Pachycephalosaurus right here from from Wave 2 of Jurassic Park. We have a Wave 2 Dilophosaurus. We have the Lost World baby T-Rex that came with Ian Malcolm. Oops, he fell over. Then we have the Lost World Pachycephalosaurus that came with Roland Tembo. He's a little warped. We have this thing, I cannot remember what the name is, but I think it came with Alan Grant. This Alan. And then we have a Pteranodon that came with Nick Van Owen. We have the Series 1 Pteranodon, which came with the first Alan Grant. And baby T-Rex fell over. Whatever. We have the Series 2 Stegosaurus baby. We have the Lost World variant of the baby Stegosaurus. We have the, I think Series 2 or Series 1 Velociraptor. Actually, that might be from Lost World. Not sure. We have a Compy, which has a magnet on it. I don't have the figure that came with it, though. I have the Ankylosaurus baby. Baby Triceratops. Another baby Triceratops. A baby Gallimimus. And another baby Triceratops. So that's all the Kenner dinosaurs, like Kenner hatchlings and Kenner humans. Now I'm going to do the Mattel humans and hatchling dinosaurs. Oh, but before I go, here's all their accessories. So yeah, let's move on to the Mattel ones. Alright, so here's all the Mattel humans, not counting Amber Collection or Hammond Collection. Just regular humans, 3.75 inch scale. So for Jurassic World we have Owen, who comes on his motorcycle. He's got like all the motorcycle gear. Then we have another Owen from Fallen Kingdom. Chris Pratt, there you go. And then we have another Owen, which is just a regular one. Nothing really too special. And then we also have Claire from the Gyrosphere set. And then the only other Jurassic World figure I have is, I think her name is Zia Rodriguez, I think. I don't know, I haven't seen the movie in a while. And this one doesn't really like to stand. There you go. And then I just have this random soldier guy, who also doesn't like to stand. And this random soldier guy. Alright, now for Jurassic Park we have Alan Grant. Just regular Alan Grant. We have Ian Malcolm. Also doesn't like to stand all that well. Dennis Nedry. We have Lex Murphy, who comes with the frying pan, Raptor kitchen set. We have Tim Murphy, who came with Lex, just regular. And then we have the Tim Murphy that has the goggles from the T-Rex set. And the last Mattel figure that I have is Sarah Harding from The Lost World with the Stegosauruses. So that's all the Mattel humans that I have. Now I'm going to show you all of the miniature dinosaurs that I have before we move on to the big stuff. Alright, so what I mean by mini dinos is these are dinosaurs that either came in blind bags or they came with some of the figures. And also there's just a couple of miscellaneous ones, and those are the ones I'm actually going to start with. So we have the just a T-Rex. Not sure where this came from, but I mean obviously it's Jurassic Park. Not sure of its origins though. I have this little metal green T-Rex. I'm not even sure if this one's Jurassic Park, but it's in the collection anyway. Doesn't really like to stand. And then I have this T-Rex right here. And it also had an Indominus Rex. These two came in a pack from Universal Studios. And I used to have Blue, the Velociraptor, but I don't know where she went. And then we have the Mattel Triceratops blind bag figure with a moving head. We have a stationary one. We have a Ceratosaurus with a moving jaw. Really, really cool. I guess you could say those are hatchlings. We have a Dimorphodon, which is just one solid color. We have an Ankylosaurus, which is purple for some reason. And then we have Baby Blue, the Velociraptor. This one came with, why won't it focus? Probably because it's really small. There we go. This came with Owen, or Chris Pratt, one of the figures. And then I have not one, not two, not three, but four Compsognathuses that came with the Legacy Collection figures. And now we're going to move on to the Hasbro dinosaurs. These ones I don't really like because I don't really like Hasbro. But we have a green Ankylosaurus. We have a brown Ankylosaurus. We have a blue Indominus Rex. Then there's a green Indominus Rex. These don't really like to stand well either, because it's Hasbro, it sucks. We have a green T-Rex, a brown Spinosaurus, a brown Pteranodon, a kind of grayish orangish Dimorphodon, a Pachycephalosaurus, an Allosaurus, a brown Velociraptor, and then I also have a gray Velociraptor, and then I have a brown Triceratops, a gray Stegosaurus, and a Mosasaurus. And so that's all the small dinosaurs I have. Now let's move on to the big dinosaurs, starting with my favorite dinosaur of all time. So beginning with the big dinosaur toys, we're going to start with my favorite dinosaur of all time, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. And since the T-Rex is my favorite dinosaur, it has the largest number of dinosaur toys in my collection. I have T-Rexes from all three toy companies, so without further ado, let's start with Kenner. So for Kenner, I have the original red T-Rex that came out for the original movie. It's not really in the best condition. It's got a lot of rips and tears, and this isn't mine. This is actually from a flea market, so explains why it's not in the best condition. It doesn't work anymore, but I mean, it still looks pretty nice. Not gonna lie. And you know, it's an important part of the collection. And then the other T-Rex that I have from Kenner is the Thrasher T-Rex from the Lost World, with a spring-loaded tongue. It can clomp down. It doesn't really thrash anymore because the tail's kind of broken, but still looks really nice. It's in better condition than the Red Rex. Also doesn't really like to stand. And the other, or the final Kenner T-Rex that I have is the Series 2 Junior T-Rex, which has the dino damage. I don't have the original one, but I just have the one from Series 2. Yeah, like that. And yeah, they're all rubber, really cool. I wish they made toys like this today. Moving on to Hasbro, we have the one that made the most amount of noise, the Hybrid FX Tyrannosaurus Rex, which makes noise. I know I'm showing you the ugly screw hole side. Oh my god, yeah, this thing is annoying as hell, but I got this at Universal Studios, which is why I kept it. And it's actually a rehash of the original Chomping T-Rex, which is right here. This is the older one, which has a weaker spring. This is definitely one of the better Hasbro Jurassic World toys. I actually got it the day I saw the movie in theaters. And the only other Hasbro T-Rex that I have is the Basher Biter T-Rex. This came with the T-Rex Lockdown playset, which you will see later. Now we're moving on to Mattel. This is the largest toy company T-Rex toys that I have. I don't know what I just said there, but I have the T-Rex skeleton, which comes with its display thing, and like you can actually like close the mouth. Really cool. I actually did a video on this a long time ago if you want to check that out. Doesn't really stand all that well, and it did come with a like card thing. A few other things. Then I have the Legacy Collection Baby T-Rex, which moves its mouth, and it comes with the capture gear, which you can put on just like that. Then we have the T-Rex that came with the T-Rex Breakout set. This is another Chomping T-Rex because there's a button on top which you can move the mouth with. And I actually own the old version, which came out for Fallen Kingdom, which is actually the battle damage version, because it has a bunch of like red scars all over it. And this one has a more protruding tongue. Very cheaply made though, but don't really care. Then we have the Thrash and Throw T-Rex, which does not work anymore. It also doesn't like to stand at all. Yeah, it doesn't work anymore. Batteries are not working, and it never stands. I'll have to put it like that. Next up, we have the Camp Cretaceous Vibrating T-Rex. I call it the vibrating one because if you press this button, it actually vibrates. Yeah, really cool. It has a very similar paint job to this one, but I like it, especially like the vibrating part. Then we have the Capture Gear T-Rex, which I think is also from Camp Cretaceous. You can move the head around. Or no, you can move the feet, actually. And then you press this button and it roars. Yeah, that's another one of my favorites. And last but not least, we have the Jurassic World Dominion T-Rex, which I know you can like move it back and forth, and then it can also roar. So yeah, that's my entire collection of T-Rexes. It's the largest amount of dinosaurs I have in my collection. Now I'm going to show you all of these Spinosauruses. Now I'm going to show you all of my Spinosauruses, or dinosaurs that are related to Spinosaurus, starting with the original 2001 Hasbro Jurassic Park 3 animatronic Spinosaurus, which unfortunately doesn't work anymore, but it does make noise still. It's just very glitchy. See what I mean? Very glitchy. There you go, you got a proper roar. And it doesn't really like to stand either. But I also have the Camp Cretaceous Spinosaurus from Mattel, which looks really good, except it's not really the best. Like, the head constantly leans forward. That is cool, though, with the mouth. And it also likes to slide on the table a little bit. See what I mean? So it's just going to be looking down. Next up, we have the Suchomimus from Jurassic World, Mattel. And you press the button up here, and it bites. Really cool looking. I love the colors. Next up, we have the original Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Baryonyx, the Roarivore, which does still roar. If I can press the button. Where's the button? Here it is. For some reason, it makes a T-Rex roar. I don't know why. It just does. And then I also have another Baryonyx. This one doesn't make any noise, though. It's a brown Baryonyx, and it has a couple of, like, scars. This came with the Owen motorcycle thing that I showed you earlier. And, yeah. Then we have the Camp Cretaceous Baryonyx, one of them. It used to make noise, but I took the batteries out. I really do that a lot. I like to take the batteries out just because I don't really like the dinosaur toys making noise. Also, they tend to break a lot with the electronics, so I don't really like to keep the batteries in there, because I mostly keep them for display. And last but not least, we have the Irritator, which also used to make noise, but I took the batteries out of it as well. I am actually getting the Hammond Collection Irritator coming in the mail right now. So, this one will not be the only Irritator I have in the collection. So that's all of my Spinosauruses and Spinosaur relatives. Now I'm going to show you all of my hybrid dinosaurs. I already showed you the Indoraptor, but I do have a couple other hybrids. Starting out with the most famous hybrid from Jurassic Park, the Indominus Rex. This is the original Hasbro Bad Boy Indominus Rex, which I also got the day I saw the movie in theaters, and it does still work. You can see the colors on the back. This is a pretty cool toy, probably one of the best toys Hasbro made for Jurassic World, but that's not saying much. And it never stands, unfortunately. But what's better than the Bad Boy is the Mattel Indominus Rex. Definitely the better one of the two. It also makes noise. And also roars. You can see the light in the neck. And this one actually does stand. The only other Indominus Rex that I have is the Basher Biter Indominus Rex. I kind of like this more than the Bad Boy. Not by a lot, though. The last hybrid dinosaur that I have is the Scorpius Rex from Camp Cretaceous, which also still makes noise and still does its action feature. And then there's also the button that makes it roar. It's kind of finicky sometimes, but it does work most of the time. There you go. Put that there. And so that's all of my hybrid dinosaurs from the Jurassic Park toy collection. Now I'm going to show you a couple of other medium-sized carnivore toys that I have. Alright, now I'm going to show you all of my medium-sized carnivores, or theropod dinosaurs, or meat-eaters, whatever you want to call them. So first up we have the Lost World Carnotaurus, the Bone Breaker. You move this foot and it opens its mouth. And it also has the Dino Damage, which is plastic for some reason. I also have its capture gear, which I keep displayed on the Carnotaur just because it looks pretty funny. That's not the only Carnotaurus that I have. I also have this one from Fallen Kingdom. You press this button and it snaps. It doesn't really like to stand all that well, but, well, now it is. And the last Carnotaurus that I have is Toro from Camp Cretaceous. You can see it has the scar on the one side. And this does make noise, but I took the batteries out just because the electronics got pretty annoying. But it does still work. I also have the Acanthosaurus. I'm also getting the Hammond Collection one in the mail right now at the time of this recording. But I have this one. This is the old one, and it actually does still make noise. Oh, I guess not. I guess it doesn't make noise. I must have taken the batteries out a while ago. But at one point it did make noise. And then here's the very first Mattel Jurassic World toy that I ever got. The Roarivore Allosaurus, which does still make noise. Yeah, this is the oldest Mattel Jurassic Park toy that I have, and it still works, which is pretty interesting, although it doesn't really stand all that well. Next up we have the Roarivore Ceratosaurus. This one also still works. Again, it makes a T-Rex noise. I don't know why it makes a T-Rex noise. And then we have the Concavinator. This is the Dino Rivals Concavinator, which you can move the mouth, and I believe you can also move the tail by pushing down on the thing up here. Next up we have the Carcharodontosaurus, and you press this button. It's actually kind of rubbery, and it breaks out of its capture gear. Yeah, really cool. It looks just like the one from Jurassic World Evolution, I think. I haven't played that game, but I think this is what it looks like. I could be wrong, though. Alright, so after falling with style, let me show you the other ones that I have. I have the Albertosaurus, which has the really cool dino damage with the squishy organs and the... I can't really do this with one hand, but... it has like the rib cage. Really, really cool. I love the dino damage ones that Mattel do. I just wish Hasbro did those a lot better. They were crap. Then we have the Siet Mikarim. I think that's how you pronounce it. And you can move the head and the jaw. One of my favorite ones, even though I don't know how to pronounce the name all that well. Then we have the Jurassic World Dominion Rajasaurus, which you press down on the feet and it roars. And then I also have the Scorpiovinator, which is the exact same thing as the Rajasaurus. And then the last two medium-sized carnivores that I have are the Cryolophosaurus, which did used to make noise, but I took the batteries out. And last but not least, I have the Tarbosaurus, which doesn't make noise, but you can move the head and the jaw. So that's all of the medium-sized carnivores that I have. Now I'm going to show you all of the small carnivores, like the Velociraptors and the Dilophosauruses. Oh, I forgot one of the dinosaurs. This is the Eocacharia, and it actually makes noise. Yeah, I forgot to show off that one. Back to your regularly scheduled program. The the last carnivores I'm going to be talking about are my small carnivore collection. So we have raptors, Dilophosauruses, and a couple of other similar species. First up, we have the Lost World Utah Raptor, which does still have its capture gear. You push the button, it does that. And also, if you look real closely, it does move its mouth. But yeah, I like to keep the capture gear on just because it looks cool. This one never really liked to stand all that. There you go. Next up, we have the original Jurassic Park Velociraptor. You squeeze the legs together and it does that. Then we have the Lost World Cyclops Raptor. They call it Cyclops Raptor because of its blind eye right there. It only has one eye. And you can move it back and forth. Next up, we have the Jurassic Park Dimetrodon right here. You squeeze the leg back here, the mouth moves. The only Dimetrodon I have in the collection. Then we have the Hasbro Dilophosaurus. I know I'm kind of going out of order, but I just want to get all the big stuff out of the way first. And this is one of the few Hasbro things I have left in my collection. And you press this and it has a light. And then you push the tail down and it squirts its venom. Makes that weird noise. Don't know why it does that. It's really weird. I wish it didn't have that, but whatever. There we go. Then I have the Hasbro Jurassic Park 3 Raptor. This is the repainted version. And it does make noise, but it's very glitched. Yeah, it doesn't really work all that well, but it does still make noise. Then I have the Jurassic Park Coelophysis. I have two of them because they came in a 2-pack. These are pretty cool because you can actually like bend them. It's real cool, although I wouldn't really recommend bending them because of their age. But, I mean, they're not... I've had those for a while and they haven't broken just yet. Knock on wood, hopefully they don't. Remember when I was asking earlier about where I left my little blue at? Well, here's my little blue figure that came with the T-Rex and Indominus Rex in that pack I got from Universal Studios. And then we also have the Jumper Raptor Blue. This one's really cool because you push the legs down and it actually jumps. Really cool. And the last blue figure that I have is the Battle Damage Blue. This one's probably my favorite just because it looks the most accurate. There's the Battle Damage. Then we have another random Jumping Raptor. We have yet another Jumping Raptor. This is the Lost World variant, which has a chipped tail thanks to my cat. I wish Mattel would make more of those. I love the Jumping Raptors. And then we have another Jumping Raptor. This is the male raptor from Jurassic Park 3, except it's colored differently. Doesn't want to jump. Then we have just a random raptor. Nothing too special. Just a random velociraptor that doesn't want to focus. Then we have the Ornitholestes. I think that's how you pronounce the name. Then we have a Jurassic Park Raptor that came in the kitchen set. We have the Battle Damage Monolophosaurus. There's the Battle Damage. We have the Legacy Collection Dilophosaurus, which does have its venom that it's spitting out. I have another one, but this one came with Dennis Nedry, and it's a slightly different color. I don't have its venom. It's somewhere around here, though. Then I have the Mashikasaurus. I think that's how you pronounce it. And it does that. I have the Colorus. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm terrible with a lot of these dinosaur names, believe it or not. Even though I am a dinosaur nerd. We have the Proceratosaurus, which is a really cool looking one. We have the Herrerasaurus right here. I like the red coloring. And last but not least, we have the Stegosaurus. I don't really know how to pronounce the name. This one has a really hard to pronounce name, but it does that. So that's all of my small carnivores, and that also rounds out my entire carnivore collection. Now I'm going to move on to the herbivores, starting with the Triceratopses. Alright, so here's all of my Triceratopses, or Triceratops relatives, however you want to classify these dinosaurs. But first up I have the original Kenner Triceratops that came out for the original Jurassic Park. And it does still work, like you ram it, it's made of rubber, and it does have the dino damage piece. Yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite Kenner toys. Like, out of all the Jurassic Park ones, this one's definitely a favorite. Next up I have the Mattel Triceratops. This is the one that came out for Fallen Kingdom. It does not make noise anymore because the batteries ran out. Also, I took the batteries out just because I don't like to have batteries in my toys. And the horns are a little warped, but it's not too bad. Next up I have the Stegosaurus, which can move its head, and I think it can also move its tail. Another really cool looking one. Then we have the Spinosaurus from Jurassic World Dominion, which makes noise. Not sure how well you could hear that, but it does make noise. Then we have the Pachyrhinosaurus, which interestingly, this was called a Spinoceratops during Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom's toy line. Like on the packaging it says Spinoceratops, but this is definitely a Pachyrhinosaurus. And it doesn't make noise anymore, unfortunately. Kind of looks like a parrot. Then we have the Diabloceratops, a recent one that I got. And he also still makes noise. Really cool. Then we have some smaller ceratopsians. We have the Kenner Hasbro, which does still make noise. Not sure how well you can hear that, but it does still make noise when you move the leg back and forth. Then we have the Cosmoceratops from Jurassic World Dominion's toy line, which moves its head. You can't really move it too well with one hand. There you go. Then we have the, for some reason, very small Styracosaurus from Jurassic World Mattel's toy line. And last but not least, we have the Protoceratops, the smallest one that I have. Actually, it's not really that small. So that's all of my Triceratopses and Triceratops relatives. Now I'm going to move on to the Stegosauruses and Ankylosauruses. Now I don't have too many Stegosauruses or Ankylosauruses, but the ones I do have are still pretty cool. So first up we have the original Kenner Lost World Stegosaurus. And let me just put it down real quick because it doesn't really like to... I can't really do anything with it with just one hand. You can take off the dino damage piece, which always falls off. And the action feature does work, but the capture gear is broken. So like you can still kind of move the tail. Can't remember. Oh, this one. Yeah, see, it kind of still works. But it's still a nice figure, even if it is broken. Now for Mattel, I have the original Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Stegosaurus with the, let me try and do this with one hand, movable tail. Then I have a Lost World variant of that same Stegosaurus from the Legacy Collection, and this one also whacks its tail. But it also came with a baby. The only baby Stegosaurus I have in this collection. And the last Stegosaurus that I have is the Camp Cretaceous Capture Gear one. I'm not going to do that just because it's a kind of a pain to put on the tail, but you're supposed to like move it back and forth and it shakes the capture gear off. As for Ankylosauruses, while on the subject of Camp Cretaceous, I have Bumpy, the Ankylosaurus, which does make noise, but I took the batteries out again and kind of moved the tail. I also have the original Hasbro Ankylosaurus from Jurassic World, the Basher Biter one. It's probably the best Basher Biter to come out, or at least one of the best ones. Then we have the Minmi, which is like a similar small Ankylosaurus. Come on, focus. There you go. Yeah. And then the last Ankylosaurus, or some kind of similar species, is the Sauropelta. I don't know how to pronounce the name, but you can move it back and forth. It's basically a McDonald's toy, but I still like it. So that's all the Stegosauruses and Ankylosauruses. Now I'm going to show you some other herbivores. Alright, next up are my medium-sized herbivores, starting with the Lost World Parasaurolophus, and it does still make noise when you press this button. Here, let me see if I can get it louder for you. I don't know if that made a difference, but it's worth a try. I also have the Camp Cretaceous Parasaurolophus, the one with the weird colors. This one also made noise, but I took the batteries out again. Yeah, I like to take the batteries out. This one I didn't take the batteries out on, the Iguanodon, because it still makes noise. Yeah, very first Iguanodon toy I've ever had. We also have another Hadrosaur, which is the Edmontosaurus. This one used to make noise, but again, took the batteries out. I don't really have to say that, but, you know, it's worth a mention. Next up, we have the Jurassic World Dominion Therizinosaurus. And yes, despite its looks, it is a herbivore. It's classified as a herbivore. This one also made noise, again, took the batteries out, mostly because the noises were pretty annoying. Like, that's the one thing I don't really like about Mattel's toys, is that they're very sound sensitive. Like, a little nudge and they'll just roar. I don't really like that with my toys. Next up we have the Amargasaurus, which is like a sauropod. I do have other sauropods that you will see later in the video. And, yeah, does that, moves its tail. Then we have the Ampelosaurus. Ampelosaurus, I don't really know how to pronounce the name, but it's another sauropod. And you can also move it a little bit. Kind of squeaky. So that's all of my medium-sized herbivores. Now I'm going to show you all of my small herbivores. So the last herbivores that I have in my collection are the small herbivores. Although this first one isn't so small. It's the Lost World Pachycephalosaurus, the one that does this. One of the most dangerous dinosaur toys of all time, but I own it. Then we have another Lost World Pachycephalosaurus, the one that does that. This one doesn't really stand all the... Oh, well, I guess it does stand. I spoke too soon. Then we have another Pachycephalosaurus. This is the Legacy Collection Pachycephalosaurus, which does this. This one actually does have trouble standing. And then we have yet another Pachycephalosaurus. This is the Battle Damage Pachycephalosaurus because it does that. You can see like the red stuff. Then we have the Mosasaurus right here. Mosasaurus. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Then we have the Calavosaurus right here, which is basically like a small iguanodon. Then we have the Dracorex, which kind of looks like a dragon. Okay, yeah, it's kind of fiddling a little bit. We have the Stygimoloch, which is, or Stygimoloch, however you want to pronounce it, which does the the ramming one. I also have another, his legs are kind of warped, so he doesn't really stand all that well. There we go. I have another Stygimoloch. This is the battle damage one, because it does that. Come on, there you go. This is definitely my favorite one of the two. Okay. Last up are the Gallimimuses. We have the battle damage Gallimimus, because it does that. Probably the best looking Gallimimus outside of the Hammond collection. And then we have my first Gallimimus, which looks bad. Yeah, the camera won't even focus because of how bad it is. It does not stand at all. Like, no matter what I do, yeah, it can't stand. But that's all of my small herbivores. Now I'm going to show you all of my pterosaurs and marine creatures. Alright, so my last set of dinosaurs that I have are my pterosaurs and my sea creatures. Starting out with the sea creatures, we have the giant, barely fits in the frame, Mosasaurus. I love this thing, mostly because it's rubber. It's rubber, it's so squishy. Mattel barely gives us any rubber dinosaurs. This is what Jurassic fans want. We want rubber. But I digress. But yeah, I love that figure. You can actually take it in the water. I haven't done that yet. Maybe I will. I just don't want to damage it because it's so freaking awesome. Like, look at that thing. Next up we have the Tanystropheus, which has the really cool neck feature, although the Kenner version's way better. We have a Plesiosaurus, which you press this button and it moves its fins. Yeah, I thought Plesiosaurus was a lot bigger. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. And the last kind of marine animal, or amphibian, or reptile, whatever you want to call it, Sarcosuchus. This is another one of my favorites because you can move the head around and you can move the mouth. So it's kind of cool to like puppeteer or something. That's what I like about some of these toys. You can actually make them talk. Moving on to the pterosaurs, we have the Jurassic World Dominion Quetzalcoatlus. You can move the wings, and then you push this button down here and it moves its mouth. Yeah, really awesome dinosaur. I'm so glad this was in the movie. Then we have the original Lost World Pteranodon, which still flaps its wings, and it can also open its mouth a little bit. And yeah, this is also a really cool figure, although for some reason it got stained on this one. I don't know where that came from. I think that's been there since I got this. Just now noticing it. Then we have a Jurassic World Pteranodon, which does make noise, but it's very glitchy. Yeah, it doesn't really make noise anymore. I don't mind, it still looks pretty cool. It is a little chunky though, because of the batteries. Then we have a Jurassic Park 3 Pteranodon from the Legacy Collection, not from the original Hasbro line. This is a Mattel toy. You can also flap its wings, just barely though. Then we have a Dimorphodon from Jurassic World. This is the green version. I also have a gray version of the same Dimorphodon toy, because they made them in different colors. And it's not really showing up all that well. There we go. And the last two that I have are a Rhamphorhynchus, I think that's how you pronounce the name, and a Tapejara, which looks like this, with it flapping wings. So that concludes all my pterosaurs, as well as all my dinosaur toys in general. Now I'm going to show you some of the vehicles. Don't think I forgot about those now. Alright, so here's all my vehicles. I don't have as many as I do dinosaurs, but I do still have quite a few. So first up we have the original Kenner Jungle Explorer, with a couple of stickers, kind of messed up because of its age, but it's still largely in mint condition. I also have the Bush Devil Tracker, with the removable visor, I think that's what it's called. I also have the Carter bike from the Lost World. Then, speaking of the Lost World, I have a couple of Lost World vehicles. Not sure what their names are, but I have these two vehicles. This is when they're like catching the dinosaurs towards the beginning of the movie. And then I have the Mattel Ford Explorer, which is like the Kenner one, but it's made by Mattel. I also have two of these Jurassic Park Jeeps, Jeep number 18 and Jeep number 12. This one's pretty infamous because it's missing the stripe. This one does have the stripe. And then finally we have the Mattel Gyrosphere, right here. And the little tiny Hasbro one. Piece of crap. Anyway, so that's all my vehicles. I know it's not much, but now we're going to go into the basement so I can show you the last of my Jurassic Park collection. Okay, real quick before we go to the basement, I want to show these two things off that I forgot to show earlier. So we have the Lego Jurassic Park T-Rex Breakout set. This is the only Lego Jurassic Park set that I have in my room, just because it's the nicest one. And then I also have a Jurassic World Dominion and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom ticket stubs when I went to go see them at the movie theaters. Yeah, those are pretty cool. Just wanted to show those off real quick before we go to the basement. But now let's go to the basement so I can show you the rest of the Lego sets. Alright, so I'm here in the basement now, and as you can see, this is where most of my Jurassic Park and Jurassic World Lego sets are. Mostly because there's no room in my room to fit all of them. So we have the giant T-Rex, as well as the gate, and then here is all of my Lego sets. I have all the dinosaurs, I have all the humans, and I have all the sets just kind of all over the place. I'm actually thinking about making some sort of display, but I'm not sure what kind of display I'm going to do. So eventually when I do figure that out, I will let you know and I will show you. But yeah, this is just all my Lego Jurassic Park and Jurassic World sets. And that's actually not all of it, as I've got a couple more over here in storage, right around here. See, this is some like extra vehicles, extra dinosaurs, extra scenery things. Yeah, just keep them here until I figure out what to do with them. And then while we're here, I also have the Super Colossal Indominus Rex and the Super Colossal T-Rex, as well as the Legacy Collection Brachiosaurus and the Legacy Collection Apatosaurus. You probably can't see it that well because of the light, but I do have that. And then right here I have a couple of like miscellaneous things. So I have a couple of play sets like the T-Rex Jurassic Park, the Jurassic World T-Rex Lockdown play set, the High Hide, which is right here. See, this is the High Hide. And then I also have the Lost World medical thing, but I do not have the Allosaurus that comes with that. And then finally I have the Chaos Edition, or Chaos, what's it called again? Oh, Chaos Effect Mobile Command Center. It was so big I couldn't fit it upstairs, but it's down here for all of its glory. I think it does still work. Let me see. Oh, that comes off. I'm pretty sure it does still work. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty long. Yeah, this is a really cool set. And last but not least, in my entire Jurassic Park and Jurassic World collection, we have Toast! That's right, Toast the Carnotaurus puppet from the Gaming Beaver. This isn't officially a Jurassic Park item, it's a custom-made item, but the Gaming Beaver is a Jurassic Park channel, and Jurassic World channel. He does a lot of dinosaur content. And Toast is based off of the Lost World Carnotaurus finger puppet. So I thought he was Toast! Yeah, I know, I'm kind of stuttering a little bit. I thought he was worthy enough to put in my collection. Toast! So yeah, that's my entire collection, guys. And there you have it. My entire Jurassic Park or Jurassic World collection video. Updated for 2023. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments section down below. Please like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Happy 30th anniversary Jurassic Park. Bye-bye. Okay, while I was editing this video, guess who came in the mail? Alan Grant. I'll let you guys know when the other ones come in the mail.